Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast. We, of course, are loud and clear on Welsh football. I'm the former BBC Wales football correspondent, Rob Phillips, and as ever, alongside me, former Premier League and Wales international, Nathan Blake.
Howdy doodly.
Howdy doodly to you too. And, of course, we are speaking to you from the University of South Wales Atrium campus. We're brought to you by the valued support of the journalism and media courses. And don't forget, tell your friends. We're available via all social media outlets. Let me see if I can think of them. Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads. Watch us on YouTube. And, of course, get us on all your usual podcast outlets, including Spotify. And I think it's fair to say, Nathan, we are vexed over the only story in town this week, Wales' 4-2 defeat by Belgium. And judging by contributions of the viewers and listeners on social media, they are too.
I'm not vexed.
What are you then?
A little surprised. A little gutted. A little hopeful, not as hopeful as I was, but I don't get angry about it. It clouds your judgment, for me. So, me and you are in different categories there, because I know you do get vexed. Many times we've been in the car and you're vexed, right? And I would say, well, you vexed, right? And I'll be starting laughing and you'd be like, oh, because of this and that and this. And I'm like, whoa, Rob, man. When you get that side of you, it scares me a little. So,
I am now like you used to be on the pitch.
Yeah, that's how
you often got vexed.
Yeah. Well, that's on the pitch. You're in battle. You've got to get vexed when someone's, trying it on with you. But, I think, you need clear thought, right? So, or clear plans. I don't criticize. And if you do, you've got to solutionize. You've got to have a solution to the problem.
Yeah, it's a good word, that, solutionize.
Yeah, it's mine. I made it up.
Is that right?
I don't think it's a...
No, I've never heard anybody else by you say
just criticize, solutionize.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go for that. So let's
patent that, shall I?
Let's find you should. Let's find a few solutions. For those who've been on Mars, obviously, great start with Joe Rodon's header. Two handball shouts against Wales, which led to penalties that Kevin De Bruyne tucked away with aplomb. In between that, Thomas Meunier scored a brilliant counter-attacking goal to make it 2-1 after Wales' good start. And then once De Bruyne had made it 3-1 in the second half, it looked as if Belgium would just see out the game. But on came the subs. Kieffer Moore set up Nathan Broadhead to make it 3-2, and a few seconds later, Leandro Trossard made it 4-2. That's one win in the last 5 for Wales, who lost, I was looking up today, lost 3 games in a row for the first time since 2022. And you remember the circumstances there. They'd just beaten Ukraine in the World Cup playoff game to qualify for Qatar, and they lost to Netherlands, Belgium and Poland before heading out to the World Cup. So let's take it step by step, Nathan. A lot of talk about the selection. Let me give you a few thoughts from people who got in touch with us. Our people, yeah. Matt Reed. Bellamy got it wrong from start to finish. Team tactics, subs. We didn't get the rub with some calls, but that's paper over the cracks territory. It could have been 6 or 7 if Jeremy Doku could shoot.
What a player.
Anthony, Claire Taylor said, I'd love to know why Bellamy left it until 85 minutes to bring on
Kieffer.
Moore.
Yeah, that was a question.
And gave Ampadu an essay of instructions at the same time. It almost took him that long to read it, to be fair.
Yeah.
I didn't see that bit, I have to say.
Yeah, give him a piece of paper.
Far too late. Such a shame.
Sorry about that. That's just our producer messing about. And he's pressing buttons in there. He's vexed as well.
And the best one, Anthony Burns. When the team came out, He said, I'd rather Blakey was playing tonight up front than Mark Harris. Blakey would still be a better option now.
Oh, that's cold. True, but
Family?
cold.
Family member? Or?
No, but big thanks for it. But so let's go.
Let's unpick it.
Let's unpick
I think
it.
we were all
Let's try
surprised
to.
Mark Harris started, weren't we?
Yeah.
I'm not picking on him.
Yeah.
We were just surprised.
We're here to give opinion and
Yeah.
we're not. It's not a criticism. It's our opinion. It's Dave. It's Claire. It's Matt's. They're different people.
Yeah.
Will have different opinions, right? So, yeah. So they asked me on air on radio if I was surprised that Mark was starting, and I said, yeah, absolutely. Over Kieffer Moore, who's got 13 or 14 international goals. And scores on a regular sort of basis.
And scored against Belgium.
Yeah. And is if you're playing Sorba Thomas, so this is the difference. So I would say, so Craig has seen one thing and said it's about sort of intensity, aggression, and running and what have you. And I would say, my opinion would be, well, Kieffer's like a racehorse. He can run. He doesn't give defenders like peace and quiet. He's really difficult to play against. We've had to say to him in the past, curtail it because you're getting free kicks away when he was so like hyped. But I go on then goals, right? So I would say if Mark's running stats are 20% better than Kieffer's, because they're not going to be massively. He's not going to run like twice as much as Kieffer does, or even say a third better. I would say, but then we need goals. So the goals added to the stats make the complete player. For me, it's not just the running stats. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would pick Kieffer because he's got a better goal record, whether that's Premier League, Championship, or internationally, than Mark. And I would think Mark would expect Kieffer to be ahead of him. But like I said, Craig's gone with a plan of intensity and almost we're going to outrun the opposition. You know what Newport was saying, start of the season, we're going to outrun the opponents, we're going to be younger, more vibrant, fresher. That's, I think, what is in Craig's head. We're going to like overwhelm them then, because they like to keep the ball and they like to dictate to you and they like to press you in. But if we play at that intensity and that high tempo, like we did, remember against Turkey in his first game, I think it was?
Yeah.
And I think he's thinking that sort of performance level. And like in Belgium, where our intensity, especially second half, was incredible. But that was because we'd had that sort of little bit of a stick given to us, that little thing to chase by scoring just on half time. But for me, I would just say, I just think Kieffer's a better player than Mark Harris. It's as simple as that. And I think he's more of a threat. And it's not me guessing at that. You just look at the stats. They tell you all you need to know.
You know, I've always said Wales have wanted to play with a false nine. I can't remember how many times I've said it.
Yeah, we've had this. We've had this meeting.
But in the past, I'm sure Rob Page wanted to play it. He wanted to play, actually, the way Wales did in Belgium a few years ago when Harry Wilson scored that really good team goal. I've always thought that, but couldn't do it because Kieffer Moore came in and kept scoring goals. And to be fair to Kieffer, the other thing he gives you is that if you are under pressure, because I don't know any team that can press for 90 minutes.
Well, you can press for longer than about 5 or 6.
Yeah. So if you do need a break,
you need intervals. Yeah.
There is always the option of either the ball over the top for Sorba Thomas or David Brooks to chase. Neither of them are sluggish by any means, or Harry Wilson. Or there's the ball up to Kieffer Moore where he just holds it up. And then those running stats you talk about, that's where I want to see our runners running off Kieffer Moore because he's quite capable of. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we talk about, right? Yeah. That's why I always say you've got to be a special team not to have a number 9, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right? because I think that those three players up front, if you've got Saka, Palmer, and Gordon, or Rashford, you're picking from the top of the tree.
Yeah.
If you haven't, then one, who is going to be the floating nine, or are you going to ask all three of them to rotate? It becomes, it's not easy, and it's not something that if you come up against better opposition, it's not going to work that well, I don't think, personally. So I would always go with the players we got and how we are. I would always go with either a proper number 9, who's athletic and you say is quick and gets in behind defences, or I go with the platform Kieffer, who I can play up to and play off. And someone might say online, oh, well, Kieffer played against England and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's because against England, we were too deep, right? And actually the problem was that Kieffer was coming too deep and doing too much work. So when you win the ball back, you've got no release ball.
So, to be fair to Craig Bellamy, Varney on X said, realistically, we aren't good enough to beat teams like Belgium now. They were miles better, irrelevant of what players played.
I think that's...
Where are you on that?
I think that's a good point. I don't think that we're not good enough to beat Belgium. I think we proved in Belgium that we're more than capable of beating Belgium, right? We kind of gave them a 3-goal head start, but we're more than capable of beating Belgium. What I would say is, you and I have had this conversation as well, Rob. As great as Joe Allen was, and as great as Aaron Ramsey is, Gareth Bale's a different level.
Yeah.
You don't, you're talking about world football, and probably at Tottenham, when he's at Tottenham, I'd put him in probably the top 5 to 10 players in the world. And Real Madrid, you probably put him in the top 3 to 5 in the world.
Yeah. We don't have that. Somebody said to me this week, made the observation, the 2016 side would have rolled over that Belgium team on Monday night, because they could have fought fire with fire.
Well, I think the Belgian team of 2016, who we beat 3-1, were
better than that one. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
The only player I would take, well, obviously De Bruyne was in the team, but the only player I'd take out of that team the other night and put in 2016 is Doku.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's quite some distance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would say, as good as the team is now, you're not going to get, like, player for player, people might say, oh, well, we're better now than we were in 2016. But that's when I say, well, I don't know about that. But also what I'd say is, well, I would disagree, because Joe Allen, Joe Ledley,
no Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale.
Yeah, but Gareth Bale gives you that extra sort of percentage.
With Aaron Ramsey not that far behind. I still say Aaron Ramsey gets into my all-time 11. Bale, first name down, with Neville Southall. But also in my all-time 11 is Aaron Ramsey, because as peers of Barry Horne...
Am I in your all-time 11?
Sorry?
Am I in your all-time 11?
You're getting close. We need someone to bring the water on. You're not far away. Keep going, son. Yeah, you've got to show ambition, see.
Need someone to bring the drinks on, do the strappings,
like they do in rugby, you go on, you give a few tackles. Hey, Bale, sort yourself out, son. Otherwise, I might be in your place. But no, they were two extraordinary players. Bale was just a once-in-a-generation player, as he showed at international and club level. Let's face it, he got us to 2016.
Yeah.
Even Ashley Williams, the captain, admits that. So we don't have that. So I understand why we've got to look for other ways of winning now. That side didn't press all the time. That side didn't.
Well,
he wasn't there.
I think as well, Rob, you look, Brennan's been disappointing, right? You think, like, Brennan was being lauded as to take the mantle of the person who's going to lead the team to, qualification and stuff like that. But it just, for whatever, I don't know, whatever reason, like, he didn't start. And you would think, top player, Spurs, scored in European finals, blah, 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 blah.
But I wasn't surprised he didn't start. Well, actually, I was surprised because Craig Bellamy's been really loyal to him. But it didn't bother me that he didn't start because I just don't think he's delivered that much for Wales in recent games.
No, and I think Brooksy is
He's in form.
top player.
Yeah, he
right?
is, yeah. Yeah.
I think because he didn't start sober, I thought that might have been a position. But the other thing I would add to the Kieffer Moore and the striker thing is Sober Thomas, great delivery. We've spoken about it. You said, not great delivery is left foot, but I always say he's right-footed, right? And he used to be a set piece taker for Huddersfield, so he's got great quality. So him going down the left, checking and whizzing those balls in right-footed, like I would have thought the best person to be on the end of that is Kieffer Moore.
Well, and the other thing that went through my mind is that in the first 10 minutes when Wales were right at it,
they were brilliant.
when all those corners, they looked a threat every time the ball came over in a set piece in the air.
Yeah, they were ropey, weren't
Scored with Joe Rodon's header, got up above everybody. Lovely.
Well, he had a
header.
free header, really.
Courtois got to it, but could do nothing about it. And then you're thinking, okay, then get to half time, maybe 10 minutes into the second half, get Kieffer Moore on then. And in the second half, they did rally again. To be fair to whatever he said at half time, Craig, it worked in the second half because they came out, obviously the penalty went against them. But I think there was genuine surprise and widespread surprise that the substitution of Kieffer Moore
was so late.
and to some extent Nathan Broadhead was so late.
Yeah.
And look what happened. He set up Broadhead when he came on.
Yeah, it was a foul, mind.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But we won't mention that.
Yeah.
Couple of things I do want to mention.
Okay.
I still think Wales missed Connor Roberts because I do think Nico Williams playing on the left might have helped Ben Davis more with Doku.
Listen, me, you, Matt, everybody, we could have all been on there. Unless you got that Twitch fibre, which is ridiculous. Match fibre. I would have said even Kapakia being young and as quick and good strength. I don't think there's not many defenders in the world who are going to cope with
No,
Doku.
But he might have added more numbers.
Well, you've got to have a plan for him. That was
Yeah.
what I was kind of surprised there wasn't a plan for Doku. Right? Like, De Bruyne, one of the world's greatest ever, right? But is on the way down the ladder. Still mad influential.
Didn't put a foot wrong. Did
Still
he?
mad influential.
Monday, yeah, he
but,
didn't.
Doku is the hot thing, right?
Yeah.
He's the one who's going to be here, there, and everywhere. De Bruyne is going to be the one. When you're looking at Doku, I'm just going to drift off here into a space because I'm clever like that. I've been doing it years. So I was a little surprised there wasn't a plan for Doku. But again, I think sometimes you can show confidence in your team by like what your plan is going forward. So if they never had a plan for Doku, it was almost like saying, well, we know he's a good player, but we're not going to highlight him and acknowledge him as being as good as what he is, because that maybe sets something in our mind to be more worried about him than we are about our own game. But it just goes to show that how many different things you're having to deal with, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I say, like, it's okay for us to go, oh, well, Craig should have played him, or Craig should have played him.
Oh, no, I'm
But
saying...
you think, you got to really, really think, like, he's thinking, I'm trying to cover every eventuality, but also at the same time show complete and utter confidence in not my team, in my squad, right? So if I tell, and there's a thing in football, we've all seen it when players play for big clubs or average clubs, and then they don't do it, then they move abroad and they become very good players. 9 times out of 10, it's down to the relationship between the player and the manager. And Marcus Rashford is a prime example of that, right? We know what he's capable of, unbelievable player, fell out of love with the management system at Man United, went on a bit of a downward spiral, comes out, gets to a different club, Aston Villa, and rebuilds and goes again. So I say, when players are not loved by the manager, it's very, very difficult to perform at your best when you know he doesn't really fancy me. You can say, I'll go out there and I just do my best anyway. But, no matter what I do, my manager's looking and thinking, well, yeah. He's all right this week, but next week I'm going to drop him.
I went to Craig's press conference after the game. It was really interesting.
What he said.
As he always is. First of all, on the penalty, he said he had no complaints with the second one. Why would he?
I was going to say the VAR.
Yeah.
He must have said something about the VAR.
No, he actually said, well, Wales have conceded 4 penalties now in this group.
Yeah, but rewind.
Well, there was no doubt over the second penalty, was there?
But like you're talking like you're skipping ahead. I'm saying, well, rewind.
I was coming to that,
penalty.
the first one.
Yeah, you're putting the cap for the.
No,
also.
what he was saying was that he said the second one I have no complaints with, but the first one, it's like, what are we supposed to do with our hands? I just don't know what we're supposed to do. We've conceded 4 penalties now from handballs, and this is the interesting bit. Beyond, you can argue whether Ampadu was a handball, because look in the paper and it was, but whether that was a correct decision. So plenty of Wales fans who were annoyed by it. I actually thought if it had been a Belgian player, we all would have shouted for it.
Well, I don't think. I look at it differently. Let me just make my point a minute. I know exactly what you're saying, and yeah, we would. If it was the other way around, we would. But I'd still be saying it's not a penalty. Me.
I thought it was, though, because his hand was out.
No, but Rob, okay, if I said to you, get up and run across the studio, how do you run? Or walk across the studio?
Yeah, probably walk.
Right? How do you walk? How do humans walk?
Well, one foot in front of the other.
And what happens to your left arm when your right leg is going? It moves forward, right? So you walk like this, right? Yeah? Opposite arm. You don't walk same arm, same leg, do you? My point is, when you go to run, if I go to run now or go to walk, my instant reaction is my hand goes, because that's how we walk.
Yeah.
We don't walk with our hands behind our back, do we?
No.
Or our hands up in the air, or our hands up by our
But there's a reason
sides.
why Ben Davies always defends with his hands behind his back.
Yeah, but there'll be times when Ben Davies won't defend with his hands behind his back. When he's in
the penalty box, he really has his hands in front.
So he's got used to doing something. Ethan has gone to make a natural movement that I say from a yard, you can't, like, that's what I say. VAR is not understand. I would do without it. I've said to you many times, right? Because, it's the perfect game made up of imperfections. That's what I say about football. And there are points you talk and discuss and what have you. But you haven't made it objective, have you? We're still now sat here discussing whether or not that was a real...
All right, then let me go on to tell you what
right
he
decision.
actually...
Because it actually turned the whole game.
It did turn the game, I agree. And he went on to say, maybe we need to look at our game here as well, because we have different rules here. So in other words, he was explaining that he's seen those handballs given in the Champions League, but they're not so much given here. So maybe, you can't...
No, they're given here in the Premier League. I see it regularly on TV.
As frequently.
Yeah,
they are. Accepted.
They are. Maybe...
Well, I don't think it's quite as what you're saying.
What are you on about? You see...
No, you get handballs in the Premier League. Of course you do.
You're talking like... VAR's massive in the Premier League, and handballs from a yard if it hits your hand. They saying now, we're going to... At one point it was, we'll decide whether... Then it went to, no, if it hits your hand, it's handball. And if you're a striker, hits your hand, you score. It's no goal. And I'm saying, well, if I'm looking this way and it hits my hand, right? If I'm looking this way and it hits my hand and I drop and I smash in the net, is that handball? Handball is my intention.
What I'm saying is the propensity is to give those sort of penalties more on the continent than it is over here. Well, we'll disagree. We'll agree to differ on that.
I think, how it's gone now. Why do you think it's such a talking point in whenever you're watching any of the sport programs?
Well, handballs have always been a talking point, full stop. So you're not going to...
No, I'm not saying...
You can't turn back the clock.
I'm not saying turn...
There are things that...
I don't understand your point. You're saying as if Britain, we don't have those kind of handballs, not as much as on the continent. What are you talking about?
That's exactly what I've said, yeah. And that's exactly what Craig Bellamy was saying.
That's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. What's the Premier League?
It's an Well, each each country interprets. It's not VAR's fault. Each country's interpretation of various laws are different.
Like I said, if you bring it in, it's not going to make it objective. It's still a subjective decision.
All right,
because whatever happens, someone upstairs is going, I think that's...
If you're ditching VAR anyway, what I would say is he ran over to the screen and he only looked at it once, didn't he? And he knew that was handball. So it wasn't...
No, he knew it's hit his hand, and in this day and age, they give a penalty for it.
And it doesn't help when they slow it down. I'll agree with you on that.
This day and age, I'm agreeing, it's a penalty. I just don't think it's a penalty.
Have a think of what you just said. Then.
No, listen to what I was saying. It's a penalty.
Right.
But it's not a penalty. Because if you know what a human walks like, or runs like, or goes to close down, then it's like the offside rule. We've had that. And you're saying, oh, but your hand is offside. I can't score with it. But if my feet are a yard behind me because I lean forward and my chest is offside, my feet is what I'm going to score with 9 times out of 10. Or my head is going to be... Because I run in a forward motion. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
Understand the mechanics of the human.
No, I get that. What I'm saying to you is that...
Is it false when Ben Davies runs out going like this?
Even if... Well, it's safer. Don't give handballs away.
I didn't say is it safer or not. Is it normal? Is that what you think normal people do when they're running around?
It's what some defenders do to avoid what happened to Ethan Ampadu.
Some defenders, not all.
Well, there we are then. So maybe they should think about it.
Well, so what you're trying to say is then Ethan didn't.
I don't think
Ethan's natural reaction is he thinks he's going inside and I'm going to go.
Look, he was unlucky, right? He was unlucky.
Right.
But there are preventative measures you can take. Not in every case, obviously.
I just think...
I wouldn't want to expose myself with my hands behind
I
my
think
back,
I think it's a massive decision that totally changed the game, right? And I don't agree with VAR. I never have. And I don't think it's right that defenders should be closing down attackers who I've got the ball and I've got everything I need to go past you, right? Like Doku. You want me to stand up against Doku and put my hands behind my back? Good luck.
In the penalty area.
Good luck.
Okay. Well, we'll agree to differ on that. Like so many other things.
Yeah. See where the car journey's going now.
Moving on to the general.
I tell you, I'll put it out there as a question. Who agrees with you and who agrees with me? There's a little question.
Well, it'll be a no contest.
You'll win again.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I can take defeat.
Put it out there.
Question marks about Craig's general approach. Let me give you some. Lee James says, I think the way we set up is perfect against lesser opponents. However, once we face the top tier nations, we need to focus more on defensive shape. We conceded 8 over 2 games against Belgium, but scored 5. That in itself tells a story. The Coleman Had a Dream podcast, actually decent podcast, that one as well. Not quite as good as ours, but I've said it before, I like Bellamy a lot, but he's got to be careful with these sort of statements. The team we want to be is the team that will qualify.
Who's saying this?
Somebody off the
podcast.
Coleman Had a Dream podcast, yeah.
Right. Somebody? Who's the somebody?
I imagine it's Dave off the podcast.
And Dave, sorry, because it does matter to your opinion. Like I say to you, my opinion differs to yours because I've been in there.
Yeah, no.
And your opinion is different. So is Dave as a footballer?
No, he and Ruth set up this podcast a long time ago.
Okay.
Julian Jenkins, who you know, personally think Craig is getting the
most...
He's
name dropping a lot tonight.
Well, he's connected with Gwalia. Personally think Craig is getting the most out of our squad. He's not blessed with the talent of 2016. You could see the world class of Doku. That's what Bear was doing previously, as we said. He was the major difference tonight. Sober Thomas has to do better tracking defensively. But there are...
Whoa, that's a bit...
Well, Munier left him.
Yeah. And, that's not the reason you lost the game.
No, absolutely. And this is what Craig Bellamy said, asked about his approach after the game. He said, I told you at the start what I was going to do. I'm going to press and not sit back. Yeah. I know that goes against some people, but this is who I am. Today I saw the team with flaws because I have them. A team that wants to do something because I want to. I have to compliment the players on that. And I am grateful on that. Now, you've said this about other coaches. Dave Hughes at Newport. So clearly when Dave Adams selected Craig Bellamy, he knew
Dave Adams,
the technical director, who led the FAW's technical director.
I like this because I go blind into this. And
he knew what he wanted.
Okay.
Or he knew what he felt was best for
Dave Adams,
Welsh
the
football.
nutritionist.
No, Dave Adams,
scientist.
the head of...
Yeah, the scientist. Do you play football?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
That might be something.
Okay, but you know what he is. He's the technical director at the FAW.
Yeah. What I'm saying is people who haven't played the game and people who have played the game have a totally different opinion of the game.
So
that's the point I'm trying to make.
Is it a general problem that there's or is it an issue, not a problem, that sometimes there's no plan B? Should Craig Bellamy have a plan B? Or if he was here now, he'd say, well, we just got to make plan A better.
I think you have to be able to adjust. Whether you want to call it plan A, plan B, play better, play worse, whatever. I think you have to be able to adjust in games. So what I'd say is Craig said, I'm going to press. Against England, there was very little press. Why? Because they're so good, they got you penned in. So I can say I'm going to press against the opponent, but if the opponent is 10, 15 times better than I am, I've got to concede. That's why North Macedonia are sat in the position they're sat. They're not going to say, I'm going to come up against England and I'm going to press. Or I'm going to come up against Brazil and I'm going to press. Or I'm going to come up against Wales and I'm going to press. What they do to us, they sat back deep and counterattacked. Right? That's their sort of strategy. If you said to them, okay, what's your plan B? Well, that's their plan A, B, C, D. Right? Until they got a better level of player, they can't move to a plan B, right? Because plan B could come their plan A, and then their plan A comes their plan B. This is how we used to do it, and we can still do it if we come up against, if we're ranked 30 in the world and we come up against the top 10, this is what we do. If we're ranked 30 in the world and we come up against someone who's 40th, then we'll play our attacking game. That's just what I think, like you made the point about Dave Hughes. I said there's a lot of coaches these days. I call them younger, but we're not really that young. 40 to 50-year-olds who are saying, James Robury at Newport, I'm going to play out from the 6-yard box. Dave Hughes, I'm going to play out from the 6-yard box. Because that's sort of the buzz way of doing it. And I say, surely you've got to look at what you've got up against, who you're playing against. Like I remember playing against Germany. We couldn't go out and press up against Germany. They're World Cup winners, multiple. You've got to give them that respect. But it doesn't mean to say because we're not pressing or we give them respect that they're not beatable. I say Ian Rush over the top 1-0, right? So they're beatable. You just got to find a different way to skin the cat. I don't mean that in real terms, any animal lovers. It's just a terminology.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you got a cat. Sorry.
Yeah, my son's cat, Nora, who's a regular
should be watching
viewer.
going, oh my days.
Enjoy, follow, and subscribe, by the way, Nora.
Yeah, she will me
like
out.
everybody else should.
But you understand the point I'm making, right? Now, I've played football since I was 7 years old. And I can tell you, I've played 4-4-2 for many years, 4-4-3-3, 3-5-2, da-da-da-da-da. It's a system of play that once you start to understand football, you can kind of mold into any system, especially giving yourself a week or two. So should he have a plan B? Of course, if that's what you want to call it. But he's thinking, I'm going to meet fire with fire. And sometimes I say, if I'm not I use boxing analogies a lot, right? So if I'm ranked 20 and I go up against the world champion, and I know, like, he likes to come forward, I'm going to work a strategy where I defend and rope-a-dope him and try and make him tired. And I'm not going to meet fire with fire, am I? I'm going to change my the way I fight, because I'm not fighting someone who's 100 in the world who I know I can beat. I'm now going up against the top. So I can't approach the champion the same way as I approach someone who's 100 in the world, can I? And if I do, I'll probably get beat.
So the good news is that we're still in the race, very much so.
Yeah.
For all that, we don't want to sound negative because we want Wales to get to the USA, of course. That's what
It's
we all
just for
want.
the nation. It's,
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's bigger
So let's have a look at the chances of us joining Cape Verde, Jordan, and Uzbekistan, along with a few others who are going to the USA this summer.
What did you call it? Cape Verde. It is Cape Verde, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just checking because.
I might have said Verdi, as in
No.
with an Italian spin.
Someone called it Cape Verde.
Oh, right. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And you know what I'm talking about, do you? Presenter, BBC.
Oh, right. No, I don't.
Mr. Hunt.
Ian, we're not going to shout out Ian Hunt on this podcast.
Cape Verde.
Cafe Verde, okay. It sure it wasn't a Cafe Verde.
No one had
So the group is Belgium top, 14 points, played 6, goal difference of plus 15. This is important.
Yeah.
North Macedonia second, played 7, 13 points, goal difference of plus 9.
Yeah.
And Wales third, 10 points, goal difference of plus 3. Now, Wales have Liechtenstein away, where Bellamy will not be on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be in the stand.
Mm-hmm. That's a bit of a blow.
After 2 yellows. Let me give you the teams for teams who play first. Liechtenstein away, and then a big game against North Macedonia.
Yeah, youch.
Belgium will seal top spot because they've got Kazakhstan away, Liechtenstein at home. And North Macedonia have got a friendly with Latvia on the 13th before they face Wales here. So it basically means Belgium need 3 points to qualify. Wales, to avoid having to beat North Macedonia, have to win 6 in Liechtenstein. Then if they go through, get 6, if they win by 6 goals, could be 7-1, 8-2, then in the head-to-head, they'd be second on goal difference, which would mean a draw is enough to see them into second place. Not qualify, into second place. And already North Macedonia and Wales are guaranteed a playoff place because North Macedonia won their Nations League group.
Okay, yeah.
So they're already through. It's a question of which pool you'll be in, pot 1, pot 2, or if you finish third in the group, you'll be in pot 4.
Which you don't want to be in, right?
Sorry?
You don't want to be in there.
You don't want to be in pot 4 because you could.
Yeah, so you
pot
play
1
a
at the
lesser
moment has
team.
got Italy in there.
Yeah.
Because Norway is streaking away with that group. So, what are you thinking about North Macedonia?
I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's as simple as... I think we beat Liechtenstein, but I think it's going to be a tight, nervy affair, right?
Can we beat them by 6?
We could on our day.
No Harry Wilson either, I don't think.
We could on our day, but
yeah.
let's take for granted that we won't, because what you say, North Macedonia plus 9 goals and we're plus 3.
Yeah.
I think you'd expect that to be the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Really and truly in our group. I think we were thinking us in Belgium. So I think we can beat Liechtenstein by 6, but we're not in great form. You said we lost the last 3 for the first time in I don't know how many years, but
since 2022.
Yeah, so we're not in great form. We're not in the form that we were in when Craig's first 3, 4, 5 games.
No.
And these things happen in football. You can't be peaking all the time. But let's say we go and we get the win. I still fearful of North Macedonia, because they've had some a great result against Italy in previous, Germany in previous, and going to Belgium. That's what you call a plan going and being executed.
Yeah,
because what it's done is it's put them in a position where they can finish still top, really and truly. I mean, let's for 1 minute imagine that the result in Macedonia ended up they won 1-0.
Just as well they didn't beat Kazakhstan on Friday.
Yeah,
night.
and they beat, it's over.
Yeah.
Effectively. So
well, here's I understand your I think your fears are slightly
I'm not
genuine.
I'm not mad confident about us finishing second. I'm not looking going, oh well, Liechtenstein, and then North Macedonia is yeah. How we wanted the games fell perfectly. Belgium at home, of the 3 games, if they're not all at home, Belgium at home, Liechtenstein away, North Macedonia home. That's perfect, right? In the scenario we were in. But I keep reiterating, I think we've overlooked North Macedonia.
Well, I'm sure Craig Bellamy hasn't, and he will know.
He won't.
No.
Right? But I think we did.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us who are fans, who are players, I think a lot of us were thinking, well, it's a toss-up between whether we can beat Belgium or not for top spot.
Even former BBC Wales football correspondents probably overlooked them.
Yeah, we did.
Because I can tell you that I looked last night coming on for the pod, because I do preparation for this. I don't just roll up. Macedonia, 1 loss in the last 14. Friendly against Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They have gone 13 qualifiers without defeat.
Losing. Yeah.
Won 8 and drew 5. And they won their Nations League Group C by 9 points ahead of Armenia.
They're no mugs, mate.
The Faroes and Latvia. They've not lost a qualifier since June 2024.
Well, they're a country, if you look at their football and their stats, they've just been getting better and better and better. Right? They've been getting stronger and stronger and stronger over the last 5 years especially. Right? They've seen like huge growth. They were a team, like I say, you think they're one of the boys who, we can take points off easily in the group, but it's not proving it. They're coming for second spot, possibly even top spot.
So
that's
we've
what
got
they're thinking. All 3 teams, the 3 of us.
Yeah. I don't think they'll get top, because Belgium will be clear by then.
Like, we wouldn't have said they won't go to Belgium and get a point. That's what we would have said, right?
Yeah.
That's football, Rob. Let's just say how we expect the cards to fall is Belgium, Wales, Macedonia. That's what we're expecting, right? Some of us were expecting, well, it's a toss-up between us and Belgium, and then whichever one doesn't finish first, finish second, and then North Macedonia, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So we just that's what we love the game.
So in other words, we've got every incentive to go for goals out in Liechtenstein.
Yeah.
And then
just to build confidence, if anything.
If we get a scoreline of more than 6.
Yeah.
6 or more.
It strengthens our position.
It means they have to come over here and win in the last game. Which is slightly different to what they have been doing, drawing at home or away with Belgium, drawing at home to us.
Well, drawing at home to us was more us getting out of jail than them.
Well, it was rather, yeah.
So, they would have been devastated conceding the way they did.
So we got plenty more pods before that.
Man.
We will go back to the international in a minute.
Good discussion, though, Rob. I like that.
Well, good. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how correct you were on many things.
That's what you always say in the car, right?
Yeah. Just quickly on Bella's yellow card.
Yeah.
That's 2 yellow cards. So he's. What difference will that make, him not being on the side?
For any footballer who's played a game, it's like when the manager's not at training. It's just not as intense.
Right.
But it's an international game, don't get me wrong. I suppose, no, that's a bad analogy, I suppose, because of what's riding on the game, right? But yeah, it has an impact, because every manager, nine times, well, every manager I ever knew, want to be like where they can rant and rave or encourage or tell you or this or that, or coach or whatever, or messages on. But you're reliant on your number 2. And I'm sure the number 2s or number 3s we were with, Craig, well,
it's Andrew Crofts, it's James Rowbury, Pig Kramer. We shall see. But might be in the press box with you.
They'll never have the impact that he does. But it's just information. And I always say, once you're over the white line, it's down to you anyway.
Yeah. As I said, we will return to the international. Quickly this weekend, Swansea at Southampton. as the Championship returns. 12:30 kickoff, that one. Wrexham away to Stoke,
Tough game.
which is a tough game.
Two of them tough games.
Cardiff home to Reading in League One. Got to improve
Two
on
big
their
clubs.
home form.
Ooh, Cardiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just started to come
Lost
and
3 of
done
the
a
last
little.
4 at home, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a case of, I think, like I've said it, Cardiff are almost too good for some of the opponents. But I think some of the opponents are better equipped to what it's going to be like in League One.
Well, they won't press.
Yeah,
They'll
I
just-
remember. I always tell a story when I was at Sheffield United, Wally Downs, and we've been relegated. In the final minute at Chelsea, Mark Steen scored, and it was literally the final minute of the game. And went away to Australia, come back pre-season, and I remember Wally saying, I walked past his office, he said, "Blakes, come in here." I went in, and he said, "Look at these fixtures," and he went, "Look, like, whoever you play, he's going, we'll win that, 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 we'll win that."
Do you lose a game?
We didn't even make the playoffs that season. I think we finished 8th.
Yeah.
Because I think we were in the frame of mind that we were too good for this. You know what I mean? And it's not a dangerous place. You need to snap yourself out of it. I think Cardiff need to snap out of it pretty quick. Because I always say, like, when you win a league, like Cardiff that should be their aim. Maybe not publicly, but within, we want to win this to prove a point. Like, we were too good for this league. But when you get into that frame of mind, well, you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
But I always say footballers, you thrive on sportsmen, sports people.
Well,
athletes,
one of those Cardiff
thrive
home
on pressure.
Yeah, one of those Cardiff home defeats was inflicted by Newport in the Virtue Trophy, and they then went with you watching in the stands.
Yeah, that was interesting.
To Accrington to win 1-0, and who else should be in the stand but one Christian Fuchs?
Yeah. Football's horrible sometimes. Isn't
It is. Now, Dave Hughes, in his aftermatch
So
interview...
pleased for him, by the way. So pleased for him
Yeah.
to get a result. Because I say he is sort of fighting with one hand tied behind his back. He knows it. We know it. The fans know it. Everyone kind of knows it. But the person who can alter the situation. And I think, like...
That'll be Hugh Jenkins.
Yeah, he's leaving Dave in a bit of a hole. But go on.
Well, we don't really know. I mean, Christian Fuchs...
Christian Fuchs.
It's
We
quite
know why he's
interesting.
there. We know why he's there.
Well, Dave was contacted, wasn't he, to say...
Well,
before
Simon
the
Davis,
game-
I don't know, but Simon, I was with Simon and we had wind of it that he was in the stadium.
And
which we thinking, okay. And we heard rumour that Christian Fuchs was going to be there with Hugh Jenkins. So then the immediate question is, well, why?
Yeah.
Well,
But he wasn't sat by you, was he?
no, but unless he's an Accrington supporter or Newport supporter, or he's just in the
fancy
area for
taking
the
in the
day.
game, yeah.
He's in the area in Accrington for the day. Like, you start to put 1-on-1 and make not 3 but 2. So, no, he's not sat, but
Well, we don't know, but I think it's fair to say he couldn't have picked a better time to have 2 wins on the trot.
yeah.
And it's a huge one against the only team below them this Saturday.
Yeah,
Cheltenham home, who are on an upward curve themselves
Yeah.
after Steve Cottrell came in. So
Yeah.
we'll watch that. We'll reflect on all that next week. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I was just pleased for, like, from a footballing standpoint. Like, I think, like, don't get me wrong, I love the game, but there's so much not good about it. Come on, man, you can't do that to someone, can you?
Well, I've seen things
Come
like that.
on,
but
gee,
you
you
put
can't.
nothing past football.
I don't care. Like, there's like, even if that's your intention, I'm saying to Fuchs, I don't want to see nowhere near the game.
No.
Like, come on,
Could have
like,
watched it on TV, couldn't they?
well, the man's Dave's doing what he can do his best, and then to get the win, I was like, How do you? Well, that's like a Tyson blow, right?
Yeah,
How do you defend it now?
And whatever you say, whatever happens or doesn't happen, and hopefully doesn't, nothing untoward to Dave, it just shows what a small world football is.
Don't
There are no
mess with-
secrets in football, are there? No, absolutely.
Very few, my friend.
And I've got to say, this is episode 12 of Rob and Blakey's Commentary Box. If there are any sponsors or advertisers out there looking to support us, we're open to offers. Drop us an email if you want to talk. It's robandblakey@gmail.co. We've got brilliant facilities here at the University of South Wales.
.com or .co.uk?
.co.com.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
.com.
straighten that
Sorry.
up.
Let me
You said
repeat that.
.co.
robandblakey@gmail.com.
Yeah.
As I said, we've got brilliant facilities here. We're helped by the journalism and media department of USW, the Atrium, and we really want this podcast to go places. So get in touch if you're interested in being part of our journey.
Oh, can I say, at the game the other night, the Welsh game, a lot of North Walians, a lot of love coming from North Wales, you know. We need to go.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we need to go.
Well, I've always been popular in North Wales.
Yeah, I haven't.
Not that popular, I'd say. But no, you haven't. No.
I was like the devil reincarnated. And,
Yeah. No, but they're forgiving people.
I didn't do
North of
nothing.
Merthyr.
Hey, it's not me. I have the forgiving to do. No,
Yeah.
I'm the one to forgive, not
Yeah.
to be forgave.
Anyway, moving
forgiven.
on. We're not quite in North Wales. The New Saints moved 6 points clear at the top of the
Oh,
JD.
wait, are we going to go North Wales, though?
Oh, yeah, we will, yeah.
Because, you know, like...
I'll make it happen.
Put it this way. Even I'm, like, quite excited to go. It's like...
Oh, no.
Like a lot of people, I'm talking a lot of people, and not necessarily Cardiff fans, because there's a Cardiff contingent up in North
Yeah,
Wales.
there is, yeah.
But like I'm meeting people, and I'm like, man, like, why weren't you this beautiful when I was playing? Like, you know what I mean? You never know. I could have ended up there at the back end of my career.
Yeah, no, we can go and see
Yeah.
Mickey Thomas while we're there. What's
Yeah,
not to
go and
like?
see Mickey T.
So, TNS moved 6 points clear at the top of the JD Cymru Prem. Don't say it. Emphatic 6-2 win over Penabon at Park Hall. I know
What are you
you're
going
not
to say?
surprised.
What are you
No,
going to say?
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
That was the headlines.
Who's second?
Second is Penabont.
Ah.
And they beat them 6-2.
That was Penabont who was flying at the start of the season. yeah?
No, it was Carnarvon who were flying at the
Carnarvon,
start
sorry,
of the
yeah,
season.
sorry.
Get it right, right?
Yeah, my bad.
This weekend, though, Welsh Cup. Oh, even you
I
played
love
in
the
the
Welsh
Welsh Cup.
Yeah.
Love this one. On Friday night, it's Colwyn Bay taking on Kimno Bay. It's a Bay derby.
Okay.
I looked it up. There's about 20 miles between them.
Okay.
So maybe we can go there when we go to North Wales.
Yeah, difference between leagues?
I didn't look that up, to be honest. Sorry.
You didn't do your research.
But
fully
hey, it's the
then.
Welsh Cup. Anything can happen. Haverford play Llanelli on the same night.
Yeah.
Holders, New Saints are at Mould. Aberystwyth entertain Barry. And Britain Ferry play Penabont. And get this one. Port Talbot against Avon Lido.
That is
Talk about derbies.
That is a proper derby.
That is a proper derby. So that's brilliant. In the Adran League, do you know they had their first draw of the season last weekend? Cardiff and Wrexham drew 1-1
Okay.
in the battle of the top two.
I was going to say they're top, aren't they?
Yeah. Managerless Barrytown had a comeback win over Pontypridd
Managerless?
United.
Why managerless?
Because the manager's gone. 3-2.
Well, I kind of get that.
Yeah.
Is there a
We'll have to
reason
get
why they
Sean
have,
Cousins on. She can talk us
is there
through
a
it.
reason why they got... Okay.
Yeah,
You
so-
know a bit about football, don't you?
Yeah, not
Fancy
as much as
coaching?
not as much as you think.
Okay.
I've managed to fool most of the people most of the time.
But not all of the people all of the time.
Quite, yeah. So they beat Pontypridd, and then that evening Drew Lewis announced there's another managerial vacancy because he stepped down as Pontypridd United coach. Dragons without a point from their first 5 matches. Caris Bluffton scored a hat-trick as Aberystwyth came from behind to beat Britain Ferry Clansell 3-2, and Swansea City climbed back into the top half with a 2-1 comeback win over New Saints. And this weekend, only one game on Sunday, it's Swans against Pontypridd. But there are Bute Energy Welsh Cup qualifying round ties, so try and get to one of those if you can. I said we go back to the international. The highlight of the night, surely, was a rat on the pitch, which, to be fair to Brennan Johnson, he shooed off with some aplomb. What made me laugh was the guy sat down on the side. I don't know if he was a ball boy or sat by the VAR equipment, and he looked really uncomfortable as the rat came towards him, and then went into the VAR piece, I think.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Have you ever seen that before? What's the worst animal you've had on a pitch?
I've seen a fox on a pitch. Let's see.
Yeah, I've seen foxes.
A stray cat on the pitch.
Yeah, I've seen
not stray.
cats.
I've seen a cat on the pitch.
I remember years ago, my dad was playing on a pitch in Pontypridd, and a big pig got out from the farm above and ran on the pitch, and everybody was scared stiff.
They're dangerous, that's why.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, if you're talking like over the estate, then like whatever animal people was keeping could come on the pitch, really and truly. But professionally, yeah, seagulls, foxes, maybe odd stray cat. But first time I seen a rat.
Yeah, no, it was something else, wasn't it?
Are you going to fill me with rat puns now?
Well, I've looked at some rodent players. Obviously, Joe Rodent was an obvious one. And there were plenty of pictures of him and Kevin Ratcliffe, rats, as we know him.
Yeah.
Doing the rounds that night.
You really thought about those two, didn't you?
Yeah, Andy Dormos. Do you remember Andy Dorman playing for Wales? What's that? I've thought long and hard about these. Swansea City fans, Coventry fans, Scotland fans will remember Tommy Hutchinson.
What's a hutch got to do with that? That's rabbits.
You keep a mouse in a hutch, don't you? If you've got pet mice at home.
You keep it in a cage, don't you?
Beaver is a rodent, so Lee Beavers, former Wales under-21 and Lincoln player.
You.
And my favourite one, you'll like this, because I know you like the song.
Okay.
There's a rat in me Peter Kitchen.
Well, I did say the Kitchen on air the other night.
Yeah.
But Peter Kitchen?
Yeah. I think he played for Cardiff. I'm pretty certain he did, yeah.
There's a rat in my Peter Kitchen. Do you know what? I know a few comedians. I'm going to ask them if they can deliver you some material, because you need some new...
Well, somebody's got to bring some humour to this podcast.
You need some new...
On a less humorous note, Aaron Ramsey is missing his dog Halo in Mexico. He's put up the pictures of his children feeling along to the twins and Sonny, I think it is.
What's that, Beagle, is it? Or Hound? Basset Hound?
I don't know what it is. But anyway, he's put up a reward. So, in all seriousness, if you know somebody in Mexico, if you've got contacts in Mexico, he is looking for... And he's putting up a reward as well.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I haven't got dogs anymore, but they are like part of the family. That's why I haven't got a dog anymore. When my two passed away, I just haven't been able to get one.
Yeah, so just shows, you see, footballers are human too, aren't they? For all that
most of us,
we hold them up in
most of the time. We get sick as well.
Yeah, and
we got dogs, we love
got
our
families,
pets,
and they get
we got
attached
kids.
to. Yeah, exactly.
The only difference is we play football.
Yeah,
and get paid for it.
And you're lucky to do that as well.
Not lucky, no.
Well, no, you were lucky to. There's plenty of good footballers don't get spotted, aren't there?
No, most footballers get spotted. It's just whether or not you've got the character to be able to make it.
Okay, on that note, that is it for episode 12 of Rob and Blakey's Commentary Box podcast.
Lucky, you know.
As ever, we've been loud and clear on Welsh football. Not always agreeing, but always loud and clear. Tell your friends. We're available on all social media outlets, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads. Watch us on YouTube or wherever you normally get your podcasts, including Spotify. And you know what to do. Enjoy, follow, subscribe. See you next week.